Hello, everyone.
What it do, shouties?
Welcome back to another episode of Insert Subject Here. I am Makia.
And I'm your boy, Ant.
And this week, we are taking a turn to talk about some current events and some crazy news stories. We hope you're ready to go down this rabbit hole with us, because we about to kick this ish off.
And don't cancel me. I got opinions.
So how you doing this week, Anthony?
I'm feeling kind of groovy. How are you?
I am feeling amazing. Let me tell you something. We hit 150 subscribers.
Love you guys.
We love you, and thank you so much for hanging out with us, for coming back time and again. But there's always room for more.
Yeah, there's room for more. So
if you have not done so already,
what should they do, Makia?
They should subscribe to this page. They should turn the notification bell on. And because they are here, they must like us. At least a little bit. So like this video.
Like it.
And please keep the conversation going in the comment section below. We love to interact with you down there. It is so much fun.
It is tons of fun. Oh, fun, oh, fun. Speaking of tons of fun, I have on my Oreo shirt today. And I would turn around so you can see the back. It says Davis. This is in honor of my man Crush Davis getting fired. Crush Davis retiring from MLB. Listen, he hasn't been the same Crush Davis for a very long time. However, when he was Crush Davis, all of Baltimore was behind him. So, I don't want him to go on a bad note. I wanted to wear my shirt in honor of the man Crush because he used to kill it until he stopped the roids. I think he stopped the roids.
You think he stopped the roids?
When he stopped the roids, it was all over.
I didn't even know the roids was still around. Like, I thought people was going to like crack or something.
I think for the sake of keeping baseball entertaining, they stopped testing for it.
Yeah,
just me.
Speaking of entertainment, guess what time of year it is? It is either a parent's dream or scheduling and traffic nightmare because it is back to school season. And there's a new trend that is happening where parents are posting the first day of school, the before and after, like the how it started and the how it's going. And I'm convinced that the teachers are holding like a WWE Royal Rumble at recess and taking bets to earn some extra cash, because the way kids come home, I'm like, you don't even play that hard at home. You're playing on your phone.
They said, listen, we could get y'all out of here, sure.
Like, my goodness. So some people have already started the trend. So if you have not, hop on that bandwagon, because I want to keep seeing some of these how it started and how it ended type photos.
Me too. I'm in. I am 100% in.
So you want to kick your first news story off?
All right. So my very first news story is Dr. Dre and his estranged daughter.
Okay.
She starts a GoFundMe because apparently she's living in a rented SUV and doing DoorDash deliveries to make ends meet. This young lady is 38 years old, and she did an interview with the Daily Mail, and in the interview she was saying how she hadn't seen her father in 18 years.
Okay.
He hadn't met any of his grandkids, who are 17, 14, 9, and 4, one of which is named after him. She had made a big deal, and she was like, it's not about the money. Like, I don't want the money from him. I want a relationship with my dad.
Okay.
What she also mentioned in this interview was that he had been taking financial care of her until January 2020.
Oh. Why did he stop?
That's the biggest question I have. Because you can't say, I haven't seen him in 18 years and I just want the relationship, but you've been taking his money for 18 years.
That is correct.
Like, so that's a big thing for me. But I she took to the media, and I'm pretty sure Dre's a private person.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so when she went to the media, I think something may have happened between them, and she went to the media because now she's not getting money. And he's just like, yeah, well, I don't have to, because that segues into my point. I'm all for helping my kids, but I'm the teach your kids to fish person.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not the give your kid a fish person. Because I feel like if I keep giving you fish, you're not going to learn how to fend for yourself.
I have to agree.
And I think he was giving her fish.
Probably.
And he stopped giving her fish. And I'm torn, and I'm curious what you think. I'm torn because I feel like I never stopped being a parent. But I think my financial obligation ends when you enter into the world, because you have to learn to fend for yourself. Because if I'm gone, what do? Fall apart?
Here's my question. If Dr. Dre is my dad and he's taking care of me all this time, why am I broke?
Ooh.
Why am I broke?
Come on now. Speak to him.
You know, I've been asking God to send me a little piece of coin because I promise you, Jesus, I'll do right by it. Well, at least some of it. But when these celebrity kids get money, I am very curious with how they go broke.
Yeah, me too. Me too. Because it's one of those things where even if he's not sending you $1 million a year or $300,000 a month like he's sending his ex-wife, he's sending you enough that you should be able to take care of you and your kids. And apparently he was sending her enough that she was able to take care of all of her kids. Mm-hmm. But that doesn't mean he's not government assistance. Like,
that is correct.
I'm here to help you get over the hump, but me taking care of you since you've left my house, like, at what point do you take responsibility to take care of yourself?
Yeah.
And then you run his name through the mud in the media because now all of a sudden you're not getting money no more. That's tough for me.
That is very tough.
That's a tough spot because I'm not obligated. I feel as a parent, I am not obligated to take care of you. Past a certain point, like when you're living under my roof, what you gonna do? Mm-hmm. When you're in school, because we draw a hard line here. Once you turn 18, if you go to college, we helping you through college. Once you turn 18 and you say I'm gonna go work, we're going to help give you somewhere to stay while you work. But there's going to come a cutoff where you got to go stand on your own 2 feet.
Exactly.
Because you got to learn how to live in this world.
Exactly.
And I don't think she learned how to live in this world. So leave that man alone. Stop dragging his name through the mud.
Speaking of kids, what would you guys do if you were sat down at the tenderoni age of 6?
Tenderoni.
And informed that, hey, you were adopted.
Oh my goodness.
And so then you spend your life trying to find your biological parents, only to find that your adoptive parents purchased you from a corrupt abortion doctor's baby selling operation. Well, that happened with sweet little Jane Blasio, who's actually an actress. Now,
I'm gonna pour up, drink, pass out, drink.
Now, here's my question. And you guys, look the story up if you like. But I want to get into the what would you do in this situation.
Okay.
So, do you then frown or look bad upon your adoptive parents because they purchased you in such a illegitimate type of way?
How was I raised?
Yeah, now you might have been.
That's the biggest question. If I was raised well and I have a fighting chance at surviving in the world, and what do you say? Yeah, a productive citizen in society. Then I don't. I mean, we got to have a conversation. My feelings, that's gonna be real, but I can't be so mad at y'all if y'all gave me a fighting chance in the world, like regardless of how you acquired me, because apparently I was given away to be acquired.
Well, when you think about the, I want to call it something else. When you in the excavating process, that might not have been no better. You were,
bro, that was not better. If you're questioning it was not better.
But you were given for a non-survival chance.
But you were given.
So if you're having a ex parte out of the bidet,
it's getting worse.
Then I don't think it was an intent for you to live.
And that's fair, but I don't think you cared.
No.
So because you went here to get this excavation, you didn't care whether I lived or died. You just didn't want me.
So then if you find out that a baby that you were having suctioned out, this is not going well.
This is going downhill.
It's still alive. What would you do? And it's so many layers. Like, if I'm walking and I see a child that looks exactly like me, and I'm like, and then I might do a little research and find out that is my kid, then what do you do? Do you just or do you want a part of it? Like, this can go so many different ways.
It can, because as the kid, so I'm thinking as the kid, right?
Think it's the parent name.
But so as the parent, yes, I can have the Spike Lee movie She Hate Me. He held them kids and he had the whole daydream about what if all these kids bumped into me. You get that. But as the kid, when I find out the details that I was taken from an abortion clinic ring type of situation, my first question is, so you ain't want me? Mm-hmm. So if you pop up now like, oh, I wanted to take care of you, I get to call BS because you went to an abortion clinic and you left the clinic. Like, you ain't leave with the souvenir of me in the bowl. You left with like, all right, I'm cool. She called it excavation, and I get the flag on the flag. But you didn't leave. You didn't go there thinking, oh, I hope they put him down quietly and easy. No, you was just like, get him out of me. So you didn't care then. Why find these feelings now to care?
Now, in my opinion, at that part of the process, this had to be well along pregnancy to where maybe you were going back and forth and you were like, because if it's too early, of course, naturally the kid can't survive. But if it's later on, then there may have been some attachment. There may be a reason. The parent of the child might have said, hey, you got to do this. I don't know. But drop down in the comments section the first two stories what you guys think. I know that, this second one was probably a little...
Yeah, but I feel like the kid has a right to be mad at both parents, but I think more anger would come towards the parent that came to the abortion clinic to get rid of me.
I would have to agree.
Just me. Speaking of getting rid of people, cancel culture back, baby.
Oh, they are back.
So Jessie Woo on Wildin' Out, and I haven't watched the new season of Wildin' Out because I just haven't watched it. I always watch like the season. I'm always 2 or 3 seasons behind because it's not that pertinent to me. But the video is probably playing right here, but I'm not going to play the audio because it was offensive, and I won't be offensive to the family and friends and loved ones of Whitney Houston and how they may still be grieving and what this joke may have did to them or lack thereof of a joke. But the gist of it was they were doing one of their new games, and Miss Jessie Woo walked up to pretend to be Whitney, and she was singing I Will Always Love You, and she held it and then she said I'm dead. I didn't laugh, and it's not like it wasn't like I've heard like I'm a dark humor guy. I'm into dark humor. Like dark humor, I get it. It's just me. But this wasn't even humor to me. This was just shock value.
Yeah.
And then she went on to do her little social media apology and said, this is wilding out, and I was trying to make a viral moment, and if guys did this, they wouldn't have as much backlash. First, if she said other male comedians. Now that's a problem because the joke wasn't even funny. So I can't consider you a comedian because it wasn't like well timed. It wasn't well thought out. It was just one of those let me go viral moments that any TikToker, any person with a phone can get. You know what I'm saying? But to tell that joke and then make the excuse that I'm a woman and I'm only getting this backlash because I'm a woman, I call BS. Martin pulled off one of the most amazing jokes about a dead legend that I've ever heard in my life when he was telling a joke about Martin Luther King.
And hit Martin in his head. And all Martin did was say, nonviolent, nonviolent, don't nobody do nothing. Nonviolent, nonviolent, my head's bleeding right now. Don't nobody do nothing. We shall overcome. I've been to the mountaintop. I'm having a dream right now. Nonviolent.
Mm-hmm. Nonviolent, nonviolent. Joke was hilarious. Martin Luther King was no longer with us. He didn't degrade that man's legacy. He didn't talk about his death. He made a funny joke that involved Martin Luther King and Jesse Jackson. That's a comedian. What she did was just crass to me. But I'll go with her thought. I'll say, all right, well, a male wouldn't have gotten all this backlash, but that's a lie too. Kevin Hart, for his tweet, lost the job at the Oscars, right? Had to apologize to them. Had to apologize to the LGBTQ community for a tweet he tweeted 10 years ago when almost everything was acceptable. And the controversial Daniel Tosh made a joke about a very poor tasting joke about sexual assault, and he had to apologize. Now, it's rumored he apologized, because when I went to go search for it, I didn't see the apology. But I also haven't heard anybody talking about Daniel Tosh's shows. I haven't seen him featured anywhere on stage. Haven't really seen Comedy Central doing much with him, so he lost a lot behind that. I just think the joke wasn't a good joke. And I don't think you can hide behind. You can't play the female "I'm not entitled and I'm less than" card when you make a joke like that. That was insensitive and rude.
Yeah, there's a difference between, and she said it, there's a difference between telling a joke and trying to make a viral moment.
Yeah. Yep.
And what she was trying to do was make a viral moment. Mm-hmm. And it fell flat. Mm-hmm. And she got backlash. And I really feel like when you step out there and do something, whether positive or negative, and you're trying to get attention, be it positive or negative, because nowadays everybody is going for shock value.
Yep.
Everybody,
yes, they are.
Like listening to the Joe Budden podcast when they were talking about people who are trying to push their albums, like
yes.
And they were talking about what is the girl name feeding her baby berries and honey and stuff.
I almost called it by her Instagram name.
Right.
What's the girl name? Summer Walker.
Mm-hmm. And how she just dropped, if you vaccinated, don't come near me, and it started this whole uproar, and then she just disappeared. So I understand that some people are trying to make mm-hmm. these moments, but what you have to accept is if it doesn't go well, don't try to point fingers at, well, he did it, she did it, we did it. No, take it on the chin. Apologize if you're truly sorry, because that's another thing. Don't just go on this apology tour just to get back in the spotlight in a positive way. Apologize if you really mean it and you're really sorry for what you did, and then let the world decide what we're going to do with it, because we don't have to accept your apology.
And that's the issue of going viral. Mm-hmm. That's the problem with trying to make a viral moment. When it doesn't land and you don't get that attention you were seeking, you get a different kind of attention, then what do you do?
Exactly.
That's crazy.
Speaking of crazy.
Crazy.
A 28-year-old Houston woman by the name of Breonna Strait allegedly faked her entire pregnancy and kidnapping. Now, pregnancy is such a beautiful time. You know, even pets are getting in on the maternity photo trend.
Wait, what?
Yeah, I'm pop the picture one up there. And we've seen several Lifetime movies where somebody has faked a pregnancy. Pop it on up here, because I used to love me a good Lifetime movie.
Sorry, guys. It's down here. I'm not going to put the text there. It's down here. Pop it on up there. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
And even movies that model real life situations, like this movie Inside that we watched, which was such a great story. But it was very, very gruesome, where a lady broke into a pregnant lady's house who had lost her husband in a very bad car accident, and she was deaf in one of her ears, or both of her ears, I can't remember. And this lady held her in her house and tried to cut the baby out of her stomach, and we've heard a lot of stories about that. And we even have two friends who have had family members who have faked pregnancies. And I mean, like, baby showers, like the whole thing. Even one did a gender reveal, and there was no baby.
I ain't take no gift.
Now, in the case of Breonna Strait, she went out walking to start to induce labor, and then disappeared and was later found at a hospital. Now, I'm trying to find information on her, because some people are saying, no, she really was pregnant, and some family members was like, no, she bought a fake belly off of Amazon. She wasn't really pregnant. She was just trying to keep a man.
How do you get that off with a fake belly?
So I can say, in the case of one of our friends, the young lady, she didn't even have a fake belly. She just started gaining weight.
Okay.
And she was a plumper girl.
That's fair.
So it just looked like she
That's
was But her boyfriend never went to any doctor's appointments or anything like that.
Fellas, take heed. Go to them appointments now.
Because now you can get a fake pregnancy test. You can even
And a fake sonogram. Yeah.
So if you're not rubbing on a bare belly, like, let me see and feel and all of this, because at a certain point you can feel. And if you ain't going to no doctor's appointments, shame on you. Because I, as a dude, would be like, let me see, what's going on?
Oh, you said the baby kick? Let me feel a baby kick. Put my hand there. Let me feel a baby kick.
But this trend is becoming way too popular, especially when people actually are getting kids and raising these kids. And I understand, and I'm not excusing the behavior. I understand some people go through postpartum or depression or stuff, and they just want something to replace that baby. Get a dog. Get a cat. Like, don't go out here upsetting, like, because that's a ripple effect that affects many different.
Oh, go get your puppy. don't. I agree with everything you're saying, but it's dangerous.
It's very dangerous
because it's a different generation, y'all. And these little dudes ain't got no problem pushing you down some steps.
No, they don't.
Like, that's a dangerous game to play.
If I'm all excited and expecting a baby, like if one of our girls came up and was like, yeah, it's no baby there, and we done did all this, and I mean like nursery furniture, because some of our friends have had nursery furniture, all of this stuff, and no baby. Like, how long do you keep this? Like, what is your end goal?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Because are you going to go out here and try to get a baby? Like, because at the end of it, something's got to happen.
Yeah, you getting pushed down the steps for lying to me. Anyway, that could have taken me to a whole other. We ain't got enough time for this episode. Yeah. But it's bad when you. Not all men are afraid of kids. Not all men are afraid of responsibility. Some men want that. Like, I wanted kids. Like, I was going to take care of my kids because I wanted kids. And if you lied to me, that's a different, like, you can't predict how I react to that.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
That's crazy. But anyway.
So, Anthony.
Yeah.
What do you got for us today?
All right, so I'm sure you've been on social media and you've seen the scenario. The young lady tweeted that her boyfriend makes $80,000 to $85,000 a year. And she had gotten laid off, but they lived together, and she was saying that she started working, and she asked him for money for groceries. And he was like, as long as you promise to pay it back. And she was like, where's the teamwork? And I had the comment section on the Shade Room ablaze because I simply commented, what happened to why buy the cow if you can have the milk for free? Keep that same energy, ladies. If they lived together and she wasn't working, that means she had no income coming in to pay for anything, apparently, then who was paying all the bills? Mm-hmm. There's something to think about. And before you say, that's what a man should do, I would stop you and interject. That every relationship has its own dynamics. Period. What works for one person doesn't necessarily work for another couple. Every relationship isn't the man pays all the bills and the woman cooks and cleans and clean the house. Because, quite frankly, I don't know too many women that just cook, clean, and keep the house clean. You know what I'm saying? Most women are working. So you're asking for a dynamic that you're not willing to do your part in. Just think about that, ladies, when you start asking for that man to take care of everything. That's all I'm saying. But if your requirements are that the man take care of your every financial need, you have to expect to give a lot of something in return. Period. There is nothing in life that's free. Love costs. Love costs time. It's not even just about money. Love costs time. Love costs energy. Love costs patience. Emotions. You're not going to get all of his money for nothing. So, where is the teamwork, young lady? The teamwork is in you making sure you're doing what you got to do to sustain for yourself, because in that relationship, he's not your husband. He's your boyfriend. You're his girlfriend. And either of you can say, I'm walking away, and it costs neither of you anything. Now, if he was your husband, I think that might be a different conversation because that's the groundwork that you guys laid. But as your boyfriend, as the person you're shacking up with, as your homeboy, as your in-house, the obligations aren't there. You both have to be able to sustain yourself. So think about that, ladies, when you start moving in with all these jokers. That's all I got. Pay that man back his grocery money. Kick it.
So, on our Ish IG page, I was talking to Jessica. Remember, I was saying Jessica, she keeps the conversation going. Which, by the way, Anthony is going to put up our IG handles for both our Ish and personal pages so that you can follow along with us in between episodes. But she had sent me, Styles P made some interesting points regarding the baby and cancel culture. And he had some very interesting things to say about like educating people, because what you're doing is you're taking these individuals who may or may not have come from anything, and now they've gotten all this money and they haven't been prepped with like how to respond in public, media training, things like that. They're just doing what they know. And then we're so quick to cancel them because they say something wrong and their actions and, all of that. And so when I was talking to Jessica, I said, I completely agree. In addition, Cardi B has said some very vulgar, repulsive things. And I'm going to put a pin here so that you can just hear one of the things that she said.
Don't use my kid clickbait. Aztecs Hollywood, suck my whole suck a I hope your mom catch AIDS.
So she has said she hopes people get AIDS, and she's called black females roaches, and she professes not to be African American, yet she drops the N-bomb, and no one has canceled her. And I'm just curious about that. Where does cancel culture start and end? How do we decide who we're going to get behind, but who we're going to, we're going to get you out of here? So that's my question of the week. Why do you think Cardi B has not been canceled yet? She has said, and in this same clip, you can go back and look at it, she's saying that she will spit on people. And this is, she's referring to people in the LGBT community.
LGBTQ+.
I apologize. I left off a few letters. I really apologize.
It's us. I was helping. We was both.
Thank you. But that's what she's referring to. So you can't even say, like, I'm just curious. Why hasn't she been canceled yet? I'm not a big Cardi fan. Now, some of her songs are real toe tappers. But that's why I couldn't get with Up. Because I just can't get behind her. She just.
It is going to lead us to a very good conversation that I want to have on our episode one day. I want to talk about cancel culture, and I want to talk about separating the art from the artist. Because I think it's a good conversation to have, and I think that rule applies with Cardi B. That's all I'll say. I think people give her that grace. I
do as well. I think she really has a machine behind her that is really pushing her. I liked her when she was on like the Love and Hip Hop, and she was the underdog. Like, I was rooting for her. Like what they say on Tyra Banks, I was rooting for you. We were all rooting for you. And I just, who is before us now, I'm just not a very big fan.
I feel you.
Oh, that's all I got. He over here pushing buttons like he in the glass elevator on Charlie in the Chocolate Factory. Like,
oh man, I hope.
Usually he gives me like a cue, like pause.
Because I'm trying not to. Because when I say pause, the editing of that becomes very difficult. But I'm gonna zoom in on her face for y'all to see. She was like,
I was just trying to figure out, should I push the button? Push the button.
Well, this is a great episode.
It was a great episode. Tell us what you think.
Absolutely.
About all these news stories, the questions, cancel culture, all of that in the comment section below. Or if you want to do it anonymously, just between you and me, hit us up on our IG and Facebook pages.
Yeah. And like Makia said earlier, like the page, subscribe to the page. It doesn't cost anything, and that's a great way to support us and to help us continue to do what we're doing. We appreciate y'all. 150.
150.
Like it's organic. That's why most people are like, oh, y'all need 50,000. No, the 150 that's rocking with us is rocking with us, and I'm appreciative. So with that, I'm Ant.
And I'm Makia.
And thanks for stopping by to talk some ish with us today.
Bye.
Peace.